That time I got reincarnated as a true dragon by NautyManu. Chapter 66. The strange egg. Is this what I think it is, Seal? Rimuru asked, her eyes widening in amazement as she took in the sight of the massive egg floating before her. The egg, adorned with intricate gold markings that wrapped around its surface like delicate filigree, was not only impressive in its decoration but also in its sheer size. Standing at a towering height of 1 meter, it emanated an aura of mystique and ancient power. As Rimuru gazed at it in awe, she realized that this was no ordinary egg. It was the egg of a phoenix, a legendary creature of myth and legend. Indeed, Master, this is a phoenix egg, Seal confirmed, her voice tinged with curiosity as she too marveled at the egg's magnificence. But why is it in an egg? Weren't monsters spawned from magicules supposed to have an adult form? Rimuru asked, puzzled by the phenomenon. Normally, yes, but it seems like the magicule concentration here is not enough for this egg to hatch, Seal summarized as she ran her analysis. A concept born from the combination of Velgrin's fire and Rudra's concept of hope. Well, this is quite similar to what Charybdis is, so I shouldn't be too surprised, Rimuru mused, nodding her head in understanding. Watching Ciel's fixed stare on the egg, Rimuru leaned in casually and asked, so, what's the plan with this egg? I want to gather more data on this being. For now, we should just let it hatch naturally. As for the lack of magicules, I believe the upcoming fights will provide enough energy, Seal stated, her tone focused and determined. Well, that is true, but are you sure you want to do this? Having magicules with different properties may have a negative effect on this guy, Rimuru warned, concerned about the potential consequences. She didn't want to inadvertently harm the little guy before he was even born. Do not worry, Master. This will not have any side effects on this child, Seal confidently assured. She knew when to draw a bottom line in her experiments. That's good, but I'm still against this. However, I'll trust your judgment on this, Rimuru said with reluctance evident in her voice. Despite her reservations, Rimuru's trust in Seal was unwavering. She wouldn't agree to such a request if she didn't have faith in Ciel's abilities. All right, Master, leave it to me, Seal replied confidently, puffing up her chest with determination. After concluding the matter with the egg, Rimuru and Seal shifted their focus back to the original purpose of their visit. They began by finalizing the draft Rimuru had prepared earlier. Once that was completed, they utilized their heightened senses to scour the area for any signs of newly born monsters or other living beings. Upon finding no signs of new life, they embarked on the ambitious endeavor of remodeling the entire dimension to suit their preferences. With meticulous attention to detail and synchronized efforts, they began reshaping the landscape and structures according to their design. Deciding on their next move, Rimuru and Seal tapped into their magical abilities to conjure up the foundation for their stadium. With a flick of their wrists and a whispered incantation, the earth beneath them stirred and shifted, shaping itself into the beginnings of their grand arena. It was a sight to behold, as if the very ground were dancing to the tune of their magic, forming a solid base for their future endeavors. As they worked side by side, their magic intertwined in a beautiful display of coordination and skill. Sparks of energy flew between them, weaving a tapestry of creation as they molded the landscape to their whims. With each spell cast, the stadium took shape, rising from the ground like a phoenix from the ashes. After finishing up the structure, Rimuru and Seal got down to strengthening it. They knew they had to make it sturdy, but they weren't about to settle for ordinary methods. No, they wanted to infuse it with power, the kind that could stand the test of time. So, they tapped into the dangerous yet versatile energy known as Turn Null. This stuff wasn't for the faint of heart. It had a reputation for being destructive, but in the right hands, it could work wonders. With a daring grin and a twinkle in their eyes, Rimuru and Seal got to work. They began by infusing the material with Turn Null energy, channeling its raw power into every nook and cranny of the structure. Sparks flew, and the air crackled with electricity as they worked their magic. But they didn't stop there. Oh no, they used Turn Null's versatility to their advantage, crafting intricate pathways throughout the stadium. These pathways weren't just for show. They were like magical highways, directing and controlling the flow of energy within the structure. As they worked, the stadium seemed to thrum with power, vibrating with the potential of what was to come. Rimuru and Seal exchanged a satisfied glance. They had turned a simple structure into a fortress of magic, and it was ready to withstand whatever challenges came its way. With the exterior construction completed, Rimuru and Seal redirected their attention inward, to the heart of the stadium where the true magic would unfold. They connected the magic pathways, ensuring that they funneled directly into the heart of the stadium. At the end of these pathways, they carefully placed the egg, surrounded by a network of safety mechanisms to prevent any accidents. These precautions were crucial to safeguarding the health and security of the egg, ensuring it would thrive in its new environment. They implemented numerous networks of safeguards, from magical barriers to sensor systems, to protect the egg within the stadium. Every precaution was taken to prevent potential harm from befalling the precious artifact. With these safety measures in place, Rimuru and Seal could rest assured that the egg would remain undisturbed and unharmed even if the stadium somehow got destroyed. With everything in order, Rimuru and Seal decided to add the final touches to the stadium. One of these touches was the ability to choose the type of battlefield for combat. This idea stemmed from Rimuru's struggle to accommodate everyone's combat abilities. Instead of designing a rigid system, they opted for flexibility. Why bother with something complicated when they could simply let opponents choose their battlefield? This innovation added a new level of excitement and strategy to battles within the stadium, allowing combatants to showcase their strengths in environments tailored to their skills. It was a simple yet ingenious solution that promised to enhance the experience for all participants. Soon, the battle arena that would host every legendary battle was finally complete. As Rimuru and Seal admired their handiwork, they couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement. After all, this arena offered a space where fighters could unleash their full power without holding back. For combatants, it was the ultimate opportunity to push their limits and enhance their combat abilities. The anticipation of the battles to come filled the air, and Rimuru and Seal knew they had created something truly special. A place where warriors could truly test their mettle and strive for greatness. Chapter 67. The First Fight. Is it finally done, Big Sister? Velzard and Velgrand asked with a hint of excitement. This was great news for them, after all. Yeah, the new battle arena is finished. You can enter it through a special door in the restaurant. I've also installed a screen for us to witness the battles, Rimuru said with a smile. Yay! You're the best, Big Sister, both Velgrand and Velzard exclaimed, hugging Rimuru tightly with excitement. The days of maintaining a barrier were finally over, and they couldn't be happier. Ha ha ha. Why don't you two bring the good news to Guy and Rudra? I'm sure those two are raring to have a good fight since the previous one was interrupted by you two, Rimuru suggested after she was released by her little sisters. That's a good idea, Big Sister. Guy has been complaining every day, and it's gotten quite annoying, Velzard said in agreement. Mine's the same too. Although he didn't complain about it, he's been brooding ever since that day. Honestly, if I didn't know better, I would really question whether Rudra's girlfriend is me or Guy, Velgrand chimed in with annoyance. To her, who always craved attention, a brooding Rudra was too much. Ha ha ha, if those two are like that, I'm sure they will definitely come running here as soon as you tell them the news, Rimuru said with a chuckle. Velzard and Velgrand nodded their heads at their elder sister's claim. Those two would definitely come running as soon as they hear there is a place for them to fight. Sighing at their fate, Velgrand and Velzard nonetheless departed to deliver the good news to their mates. After those two ran away from their respective homes, they were the ones left to manage it. So, none of the girls ever bothered using thought communication to inform them. And soon, under no one's surprise, two teleportation circles lit up in the restaurant. From one came Guy, who had a bloodthirsty smile, and from the other came Rudra, who had his sword ready and was dripping with fighting intent. If it weren't for a certain someone's presence, they would have already started their fight. Oh, it seems I might have underestimated your eagerness to fight, Rimuru remarked as she observed them. Oh, you have no idea, both of them simultaneously said. You know, if I didn't know any better, I really would have wondered whether you two are a couple, Rimuru said, making both of them almost fall down comically. Hey, I have a girlfriend. Hey, you should stop copying me. No, you should stop copying me. Stop speaking. No, you stop. Both of you stop it before I do something, Rimuru shouted, her voice cutting through the banter as she fixed them with a stern glare. Sensing the gravity of her tone, both of them fell silent immediately. No one dared to test their luck with Rimuru when she was in such a mood. Now that you two have calmed down, follow me to the new battle arena, Rimuru said, her tone firm but composed now that the situation had been diffused. She gestured for them to follow, leading the way towards the eagerly anticipated battleground. Both of them nodded as they followed Rimuru towards the door labeled, Battle Arena. Rimuru gestured towards a panel near the entrance. Pour a bit of your magicules to register yourselves into the system, she explained. With this system, you can each display your winning records and preferred battlegrounds. Although Guy was confused by her instructions, he followed Rudra's example and did as she instructed. Being someone who came from Earth, Rudra understood most of what Rimuru explained. After a few minutes both of them finished registering themselves to the system. Seeing this, Rimuru gestured to them to go inside. Following her advice, they both went inside with a bit of excitement and expectation. As soon as they stepped through the portal, Rudra and Guy found themselves greeted by a breathtaking sight. Stretching out before them was a vast and imposing battle arena, its size and grandeur leaving them both in awe. Whoa, Rudra breathed, his eyes widening at the spectacle before him. This place is incredible. Guy nodded in agreement, his gaze sweeping over the expansive arena. I've never seen anything like it, he said in wonder. Ha ha ha, I'm glad you two are loving it, but you guys are too early to be surprised. Rimuru chuckled, her eyes sparkling with amusement. With a deft hand gesture, she summoned a large screen to appear before Rudra and Guy. There you go, she said, gesturing towards the screen. This is a special interface that allows you two to choose your own battlefield. And don't worry about picking different battlefields. The system will mix both options so you wouldn't be at a disadvantage. Rudra and Guy exchanged looks of astonishment, their eyes wide with excitement as they took in the unexpected turn of events. The prospect of being able to select their own battleground filled them with a sense of anticipation and eagerness to test their skills in a variety of environments. Well then, I'll leave both of you to choose your own battlefield. Have fun, Rimuru waved at them with a playful smile before turning to leave the arena. As soon as Rimuru left, Guy and Rudra wasted no time diving into the options like kids in a candy store. They explored every nook and cranny of the arena, weighing their choices with mounting excitement. After much back and forth, they exchanged determined glances and made their picks, fingers hovering over the selection buttons. With a simultaneous press, they locked in their choices and braced themselves. In a flash, the arena transformed into a blend of forest and ice, stunning them both into silence. As they blinked away the brightness, they found themselves in a scene straight out of a fantasy novel. The lush greenery of the forest clashed beautifully with the icy peaks in the distance, creating a breathtaking landscape that left them both speechless. But before they could fully take it in, Rimuru's voice boomed from above, snapping them back to reality. Enjoying the scenery, gentlemen? She teased, her tone laced with amusement. Just remember, the countdown will start in a few minutes. Make the most of your surroundings while you can. Her reminder about the countdown brought them back to focus, and they prepared themselves for what was to come. With a mix of excitement and nervousness, they waited for the countdown to begin, knowing that the next few minutes would be a test of their skills and teamwork like never before. But they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, together.